Greetings, everyone. I am Sanjay Himura. I'd like to thank you for watching the W2 Report live on this 3rd of January 2021. Welcome to the new year. Welcome to the first W2 Report in 2021. And today we're talking about a game that's been released since August. Why? Because Twatter Puritans are going to have a few words to say. So let's get right into this. First off, let's introduce our meme of the day. Stupidity, even found in your local newspaper. So, with that said, I'm going to be by myself today, mainly because we are going to analyze this very, very methodically. So, with that said, let us introduce our Steam store page of the day. Welcome to... Give me a second here. Welcome to Since a Cyberpunk Story. Sorry you had to see a little bit of that. I wasn't prepared to show the Steam store page today. Welcome to Since a Cyberpunk Ghost Story, which is a 2.5D horror game inspired by Clock Tower and Fatal Frame, mixing cyberpunk with traditional Cantonese folklore. With careful attention to pacing, atmosphere, and storytelling, Sense hopes to return the horror genre to its roots by celebrating visceral horror and the slow, fearful creep of dread. It is very positive. It's getting very positive reviews on Steam. As a matter of fact, 83% of the reviews are positive. So, with that said, let us hide that. And why are we going to talk about this particular game, which has been released since August? Well, it turns out that the developer of this game managed to get their mitts on releasing a Switch port for the game. It is scheduled to be released on January the 7th, which is this upcoming Thursday. And Twatter Puritans did not like it. Why? As you can plainly see by the fact that there is two well-endowed women in the game. As a matter of fact, they're the protagonists of the game. And they want them Gone, which is gone. Well, let's take a look at what Top Hat had to say about the story. Official statement regarding calls demanding censorship of Sense. A Cyberpunk Ghost Story. Our commitment to our audience and to developers is we will never infringe on... Actually, let me rephrase this. They meant to say, our commitment is to our audience and to our developers. We will never infringe on creative freedom or expression. Here is the statement in full. With the recent news of Sense, a Cyberpunk Ghost Story coming to Nintendo Switch, we are aware of a large amount of messages and demands aimed toward the game's console platform released based on lies, claims that it's explicitly pornographic or somehow encourages violence, or most ridiculously, somehow breaks the law. Furthermore, voices have attempted to advocate making the sale of the game unattainable through demanding harsh censorship aimed toward the developer's artsy style and threats to review bomb the game and or harass its developers. In addition, we have received death threats from those who feel threatened by what it essentially boils down to, an aesthetic decision on how pixels are arranged on a screen. While disappointed at these behaviors, we are certainly not surprised. Let us be clear on this. We will not censor the game because of self-centered crowds who solely care about grandstanding. We categorize and absolutely refuse to restrict creative expression. Creators should be allowed freedom to express themselves, particularly when it's an expression of the subcultures that they have been immersed in. As a cyberpunk game, Sense uses imagery and themes related to a future of hyper-commercialized, over-commodified imagery as part of its cyberpunk theme and inspiration. This is reflected in all character designs. Basically, the TLDR is at the bottom. The game will not be censored. We categorically refuse. Now, why? do we have the publisher of this game making a statement like that? Well, before we get into that, let us go into the ground rules. It should go without saying that we do not encourage, condone, or imply that our subjects of this week's discussion should be subject to a hate campaign. It is in very poor taste and it will get you banned in many places, including, but not limited to, my channel. Do not do this. Second, any topic of discussion in regards to our subject's far-reaching implications, implied or otherwise, is not considered an endorsement of any view that was discussed. Now, let's enjoy the rest of the show, shall we? We have one Dominic Tarson, who said that I'm just going to read this first tweet, and you can catch the links to the archives. You can catch the links to all of our sources in the description down below or in the pinned comment. While I looked into this, I cannot seem to find a single threat to review bomb the game. There were a couple of threads in the Steam forum that were locked because they criticized the art. Every woman has micro waist and gigantic boob balloon titties, but no calls for censorship. Oh, you magnificent fool. Dominic Tarson. Before this morning, you claimed that you were an indie advocate at Vicarious HPR. Of course, you had bylines in Rock, Paper, Shotgun, PC Gamer, PC Games News, and you were an indie advocate at Vicarious PR. What made you change your Twitter bio to remove the PR firm? Is it because, sir, that you got caught with your foot in your mouth? You got caught with foot in your mouth syndrome? Like Alex over at Stadia? Montreal? Now, Top Hat Studios read the tweet. And you know what? You know what happened? They produced the goods. They said, quote, "We originally did not want to make this post as to not incite a search for these posters and cause further fights." That's true. And if we continue to, shall we say, further incite violence or fights, then that will be a violation of Ground Rule 1. However, as there are now industry adjacent people slandering, gaslighting us as liars, we've complied as sampling from Twitter, Facebook, and email. This is one of 5 tweets that they sent out regarding Sense. Now, let me read the rest of the tweets and we'll go over the images. Skepticism is healthy in this industry, but it's not universally applied. Not only were many of these comments actively findable in less than 10 seconds to verify, but many curious individuals seem to have a vetted interest in slandering us as liars because of their connections. We do not blame the people for being skeptical, but keep this energy toward other claims. This isn't a marketing campaign. The game was released 5 months ago originally. This is a preemptive response to what we saw as a rising, ridiculous spread of lies and slurs aimed at Top Hat Studios. We can play schematics, but if you can't understand why a response to such is needed, you are being willfully obtuse. We cannot let false, hateful information spread. And also, we wanted to reinforce our stance against creative infringement. It certainly got bigger than we expected. With that said, we appreciate sincerely the overwhelming support. Really. As we said, we didn't want to make this post, but we aren't going to allow people to spread lies, no less from those with vetted interests in calling us liars. They aren't censoring senseless content. Now, tweet 1 is a myriad of all of the posts so far, but they break them down in quarters. So, let us go into each of the tweets. Let us go. Let us discuss what many are seeing as willful ignorance of the situation. This one, for example, being tweeted at through Twitter DMs. Women's voices are being denied in the industry. Men pretending to be women are invading safe spaces for female developers. Now you're going to bring out a game that makes sense to make things harder for women. Like, can you not do this? How many fucking real women do you have on your team? Any? Even one? Trainings don't count. You have no idea how much I want you to hurt right now. There's a tweet saying reported. There's a tweet saying this is prawn. Just some sad fantasy from adolescent boy thoughts. Middle column. What misogynist hell is this? These hypersexualized images are not appropriate and can lead to different forms of violence. Please sort this out. What age is this designer? Is the designer frickin' 5 years old? Nintendo need to get a frickin' grip because there's no frickin' need for this shite. Prawn-soaked frickers. And there's a reply, I think, saying, gosh, what prawny, misogynistic trash. And it goes on and on and on. Now, getting back to our meme of the week. Stupidity. It's even found in your local newspaper. Now, what we have here is a situation where one supports the other, and Top Hat Studios is caught in the middle. Now, we paint Nintendo as a family-friendly company. Hell, we even paint Sony now as a family-friendly company. Now, what's the difference between reinforcing one's image and allowing creative expression to roam free? Well, you're looking at it. The SJWs that are making these kind of threats are, shall we say, lack enough foresight to realize that all they are doing is they're reinforcing what we all thought about Nintendo. And it's damaging their reputation as a games developer. Oh no, you're not too late, Opal. They are damaging their reputation. They are damaging their image. And above all else, they are painting them into a corner that they have no choice but to fight out of. Now, Top Hat Studios, you deserve to be applauded. By your response and by the fact that you are allowing creative freedom where these lefties scum didn't want it. Now, you do realize, ladies and gentlemen, that these scum, many of whom are in the gaming industry as journalists, they want to control what game developers do. They want to be the end all that be all that exists in the games industry. And above all else, they are not going to buy these games. They are not going to buy video games. A good majority of them are not. Now, if you think that Sense is going to get canceled, well, I already have news for you. The developers of this game already released this game on Steam. The developers of this game have earned their money back. And all these attacks are going to do is they're going to drive sales. Now, a word of caution to Top Hat. If there is going to be any sort of blowback for you, it's this. You better be sticking to your principles in allowing creative freedom. Because if you don't, Top Hat, well, we could probably see what happened to CD Projekt Red. You better mind your P's and Q's. While this isn't a threat, it's going to be a promise that many have made internally. That many of your customers that have been shall we say, watching this game for a long time, they're gonna remember, and above all else, they're going to hold a grudge if you betray that trust. Well, anyway, this is Sanjay Himura. I'd like to thank you for watching the W2 Report live for the 3rd of January, 2021. And yes, Raging Golden Eagle is actually very true and correct on this. Well, anyway, this is Sanjay Himura. I'd like to thank you for watching this little live stream. If you have any questions, feel free to drop them in the comments down below. And as always, sources to today's W2 report will be in the description. And above all else, they will be in the pinned comment. If you like this kind of content, be sure to drop a like. Subscribe to the Sanjay Himura channel, where I stream at least 4 days a week. And if you want to support this channel, there is Subscribestar, which will be linked in the description. There's Subscribestar, and you get some fancy little stuff for being a Subscribestar member. So, with that said, I am Sanjay Himura. I'd like to thank you all for watching, and I will see you guys next time.